My name is Chad Matthews, and I'm a missional storyteller. I've traveled all over the country building friendships with men and women experiencing homelessness, capturing their stories and seeing how they live. Now I'm back home in East Texas, where I've asked 15 of my best friends to share their story of what it's like to live life on the street.
In 1970 was my first time I ever got in trouble. I was introduced to drugs and alcohol. And by the time I turned 17, I had a attempted murder case. My first time I ever going to jail. And that's when really all my downfall started. And I had a brother named Lonnie Water. He's deceased now. He asked me, he said, "Are you ready for this big picture?" I asked him, what was the big picture? He said, "Prison." I smiled. I said, "Well, I guess so." He said, "Well, that's where you're going if you don't get off the drugs and alcohol." Well, I never paid attention to my brother. I was my own grown man at the age of 16. And at the age of 16, when I caught my first attempted murder case, and it finally turned into a murder case, that's when all my hell broke loose. I went to prison. I stayed 9 years and 11 months on a 10-year sentence because I couldn't be disciplined. And the whole time I was there, I knew that I was going to come back again because I never learned nothing. All I ever talked about when I was in prison was drugs and alcohol. I never got a visit from none of my family members. No one ever wrote me out of 9 years and 11 months. So when I got out in 1978, I had another fall. I took a burglary charge and a theft charge. I was still on drugs and alcohol. And I constantly was in and out of prison. And somewhere down the line, I had snapped that I gave up about 27 years of my life to prison. And from there on, I was just continuing using drugs and alcohol. Well, I know people that love me, and I loved everyone in my family. And I had lots of friends and things, but it was the people that I was joined up with. I didn't want to leave these friends of mine alone. I wanted to be with them at all times, and I would continue to use drugs and alcohol. As I got older, I was in and out of prison the rest of my life until I finally got up to 30-some years of my life in prison. In 1989, September and October, I was off to the same old Jimmy Lee again until one night I lost my life. I got my throat cut, I had 30-inch stitch. I died right there on Lake Drive, which used to be Circle K back then. And I raised my hand up. One of the paramedics said, he said, "No, I'm still living. I have one more moment." And they got me to the right there, and I died again. And I remember this day on, this is the day I would never forget, that I went through a tunnel. And from that day on, I thought this was going to change my life, but it didn't. Okay, in 2009, this was my turning point of my life. I had went solo, gave up on everything, and I wanted to come back. And this is the point that I have in and out of ISF. I had went 7 more times to ISF. You was only doing 60 days, and I was at my lowest pit during this time. And I thought about it, and I thought about it. I said, "Well, Lord," I said, "this is the time I want to change. I have so many people in my life." I said, and this was the turning point of my life. So I started up the hill, and I failed. I continued to get in trouble with the police, continued to disobey the law, didn't care nothing about the law, because I know that I was Jimmy Lee. And in the turning point of my life, I began to say that, "Jimmy Lee, somewhere down this line, you have to change." In 2010, when I began to just get out there, and I was homeless, living in a tent, my worst day was wintertime, summertime. So I stayed in a tent. I come out the tent, living in a tent, nowhere to shower with Salvation Army. Sometimes I would go, take a wash off up on a water faucet. And it's the hardest part of my life is living in that tent. Mosquitoes, possum, coons, but everything was just bad at living in a tent. And I couldn't see no way out this tent. No way I was wanting to get out this tent. I would go so long being good and trying to, all with the best of my ability and my heart, to just reach out and just hold on to Jesus. But I just kept putting God and Jesus behind me because drugs and alcohol had overtook me. And somewhere down the line, I just, in my heart, I couldn't turn back. And I've met a lot of different people, Christian people, such as Chad Matthews. He had a place. I love Evelyn and Teresa. And Lonnie and everyone started coming into my life, and Pastor Cody. And I know right then and there that, yeah, these people don't really do care for me, which I had pushed them to the side so many times, so hard, but they never gave up. And I have gave up, but they wouldn't let me give up. And, and that was a blessing, I had a lot of bumps and bruises, slips and falls, but I learned one thing about this life, you can never give up and don't never lay down and wallow. I have family members that love me, I have friends that love me, and I continue to struggle, but the struggle is not like the struggle I used to have. The struggle I'm having now is that I'm trying to continue to pull away from the old friend and my old lifestyle, but I think about it. I think about the drugs and alcohol all the time because I know I'm not strong yet, but I never said one time that I'll never do it again. I just pray that I don't have to never do this again. It's a better place in your heart if you just dig down there and get it. You just got to get it and want it out of there and just give it to God and Jesus. And this is my turning point of my life, and I'm going on up the hill, Right today, where I'm at right today now, God is in my heart, Jesus is in my heart. And the way I got here is like this here, because I accept all the friends that came to me was Christian, and they had God. And God had did so much in my life. I was baptized a year or two ago. And I know right today this is where I want to be. And I want everybody to know God and Jesus is real. And that's all you have to do. Just get on them and ask for it, and they give it to you. All y'all that out there still homeless and things, it's the way out. Trust and believe in God and Jesus. That's all you got to do.